You finally got it. Quiet, stability, no yelling, no guessing, no walking on eggshells. The storm actually passed, but instead of exhaling, your chest tightens, your shoulders hike up, you start scanning the room for what's about to go wrong. You feel guilty for relaxing, like you're letting your guard down, like peace is just a trick waiting to snap shut. And that's not paranoia. That's your nervous system still waiting for a war that ended years ago. You're standing on solid ground, but your feet are braced for an earthquake, and you have no idea why safety feels so heavy. So you wait, you brace, you hold your breath, because for so long, survival was the only language you knew. Picture a child in a hallway. They're sitting on the floor, back against the wall, knees pulled to their chest. They're not playing, they're listening. They've learned that footsteps carry information, that a certain tone in a voice means retreat, that stillness is usually the moment right before the floor drops out. They become brilliant at it. They learn to shrink, to predict, to fix things before they break, to make themselves useful, quiet, invisible. They survive by staying alert, by never letting their spines soften. Years pass. The hallway changes. The walls are painted over. The locks are new, but the posture remains. Now, as an adult, you sit in a sunlit kitchen. The coffee is warm. The calendar is clear. No one is coming to raise their voice. No one is keeping score. And suddenly, your whole body screams that something is wrong. Because quiet doesn't feel safe. It feels like a held breath. It feels like the calm before something you've spent a lifetime preparing for. So you wait. You scan. You brace for impact. And when nothing happens, you almost manufacture the noise yourself, just to prove to your bones that you still know how to survive. Here's what's actually happening beneath the surface. Your brain isn't broken. It's fiercely loyal. For years, it mapped the world as unpredictable. It learned that safety was temporary, that love came with conditions, that stillness was usually the setup. So it rewired your baseline. Chaos became your normal. Calm became the anomaly. Now, when life actually slows down, your survival system doesn't recognize it as rest. It reads it as a blind spot. It thinks you're exposed, so it floods you with a quiet panic disguised as restlessness. It whispers, "Wake up, check the locks, anticipate the hit." Because to your nervous system, peace isn't peace yet, it's a gap. And gaps terrify the mind that learned to fill them with vigilance. You're not failing at healing, you're just running on an outdated survival map. And you can't outthink a system that's only ever known how to protect you. There's a deeper reason the fear lingers. It's not just about the past, it's about identity. When you survive chaos for long enough, readiness becomes your love language. You confuse exhaustion with responsibility. You think if you stop anticipating disaster, you're abandoning yourself, so you punish yourself for resting. You pick fights over nothing. You overanalyze a harmless text. You sabotage quiet weekends because the unknown feels safer than the unfamiliar. And peace? Peace is completely unfamiliar. You were never taught how to sit with it. You were taught how to outrun it. So now, when the racing finally stops, you don't know what to do with your hands. You don't know where to put your attention. And instead of enjoying the quiet, you mourn the version of you that had to fight so hard to get here. You've been so busy being ready that you forgot what it feels like to just be. Take a slow breath. Notice how your body actually feels right now. Not how you think it should feel, just the raw, unfiltered truth. You're allowed to be exhausted from carrying armor you didn't ask for. You're allowed to set it down, even if your hands shake while you do it. You see this pattern playing out everywhere once you look for it. In relationships, it looks like leaning away from steady love. Someone treats you with genuine consistency. They call when they say they will. They don't keep score, and instead of leaning in, you lean out. You start looking for hidden flaws. You wait for the mask to slip, or you create a crisis just to see if they'll stay. Because if they survive your storm, maybe they're real. But really, you're just recreating the only emotional climate you know how to breathe in. At work, it's the same. You volunteer for extra stress. You say yes when you're drowning, because a manageable load feels suspicious. A predictable day feels empty, so you fill it with noise, with deadlines, with manufactured urgency, because stillness makes you feel exposed, and when your whole life has been built on reaction, Action starts to feel like the only proof that you're alive. But it's not proof, it's just panic wearing a productivity suit, and it's exhausting you from the inside out. Think about the last time you chose comfort and immediately followed it with guilt. Where did you learn that you had to earn your right to rest? Who taught you that peace was something you had to buy with suffering? You didn't invent this, you inherited it. And inheritance doesn't mean ownership. You can leave it on the porch. You don't have to wear it anymore. Here's the quiet truth you've been avoiding. You don't need to fix your nervous system to deserve peace. You don't need to heal every wound before you're allowed to put your guard down. Peace isn't a reward for surviving long enough. It's your natural state. It's what's left when the noise finally stops echoing. The terror you feel isn't a warning sign. It's a withdrawal symptom. You're detoxing from survival mode. And just like any detox, it's uncomfortable. It's messy. It will lie to you. It will tell you to pack your bags, to expect the worst, to brace for impact. But what if, for once, you let it be wrong? What if you let the silence sit with you long enough to realize it's not waiting to hurt you? It's just space. Space you finally get to fill with your own choices. Not with anticipation, not with preparation, just presence. You've been treating peace like a destination, but it's actually a practice. It's the daily, quiet decision to stop preparing for a storm that already passed. Ask yourself this. If no one was coming to disrupt your calm today, what would you actually do with it? You don't have to force yourself to love peace yet. You just have to stop fighting it. Let your shoulders drop. Let the quiet stretch out. When the panic rises, don't shame it. Just name it. That's just the echo of the past trying to rent space in your present. You can thank it for keeping you alive. And then you can gently close the door. You survived the chaos. You don't have to keep living in it. The war is over. The room is quiet. You are allowed to finally exhale. And when you're ready, you can take the first real breath of your life. Not the one you held while waiting, the one you choose, just because you're here and safe and finally free to just be.